bat, and you guys are actually going to see which one I decide to go to. Checking this out right now. He's continuing to macro up. He may have just a few too many probes. Well, that base could use one more. And you can see right here, there's too many probes here. They're just bouncing all over the place. He's oversaturated by, quite a bit. You can get by with 2 probes or 2 drones, harvesters, per mineral patch. You can go a little bit over that, and you'll still be just fine as far as that goes. But that, to me, seems to provide a good amount of economy. And this right here, sorry I missed that little battle, sending out my mutas. Now, right now, what's actually going to happen is he does not have any High Templars with these troops. There's one right there, actually, just catching up. And what I need to do is I need to get the surround off right here. And then, let's see with that High Templar, he dies just from splash damage before he even has a chance to really do anything. And then there's going to be enough mutas here and some roaches on the ground. Actually, this drone over here, he wanted to come in, he wanted to get a piece of this action too. He's all up in that. To be able to push him away. And this is kind of what you need to do, is you need to trade these armies with the Protoss. Your army is more expensive. I mean, his army is more expensive than yours. We check this out right now. He's up by almost 1,000 minerals total, and I'm now getting onto my third base, and I'm basically going to use this one purely and solely for gas. And as the mineral patches over here start to run down, I will slowly start to migrate drones over. He did manage to kill my creep tumor over here, which saddens me greatly. And not too terribly. I would have liked to have creep to more than about the halfway point. It's just always nice to have that vision more than anything else. Going into the games, you tend to know what's going on. And if we take a look at this right now, I have a hive going down, more lings, more mutas. If we check this out, I have not chosen not to use my evo chamber, or have done any upgrades. That is definitely something that I could have been working on. But if we check this out, neither has my opponent. It's a rather interesting choice. And now that the Cardarian Amulet is down, these guys will have enough to storm right off the bat. And that is not what I want to see. And actually, these Stalkers are going to, totally abuse their awesome blank powers. And they just need a little bit of high ground vision over here is all they need. And my mutas over here able to pull a storm out of those High Templars. But, they all took a pretty... they took a little bit of damage each. They'll be able to heal that up in about a minute. And there comes the Observer, going to be able to help out, these Stalkers get up here. But in response to that, I will be bringing a lot of Zerglings over. And just checking out the army tab right now, mine is vastly, vastly superior to his. And he's going to start picking off some of my drones there. Communist asshole. And there, he just blinks down. And I really don't know if I want to commit my mutas to that attack. It might, just literally might not be a good decision. And I can see the Observer over there, but I do not have a way necessarily to take it down. And the Observer, ironically enough, these do not bounce off and hit the nearest target, but they might not be able to see him because he is cloaked and I cannot see that. I have a Muta over here. This Muta just scouted the entire map. At this point, knowing that he is only on 2 bases makes me feel very comfortable, and actually I do not even know if I replaced those workers that I lost at, back here. I'm at 46 harvesters. I could be using to get that number up to about 60 now that I'm on 2 bases. That would actually really let me just blow ahead of my opponent right now. If we take a look at this, he's relying very heavily on Stalkers and High Templars. The High Templars are really going to be there to be the brunt DD of this, and the Stalkers are just going to help taking out the Mutalisks. And if I can get a decent surround with these Lings, there's really not much he'll be able to do. So here goes his expansion. My creep will definitely let me know that that expansion is up soon enough, and now that I have a 4th over here, it's really going to be up to me to kind of decide what I want to do as far as handling my opponent right now. Checking out the army tab, I am way ahead of him. I'm nearly double in army size. Units lost, basically even at this point. Units that we have, I have over 100 Zerglings on the field, 28 Mutalisks, and I'm actually going to fly these guys over here and take out that probe. And I think it's right now that I realize that there's a big base right here, there's a lot of Stalkers, and I actually want to fly out of there. I really do not want to engage those Stalkers and have a storm dropped on top of me. That would just be terrible. But what I am going to do is I'm going to grab all these little Zerglings, these beautiful little guys, and there we can see I have Chitinous Plating. I completely missed that for you guys, I'm sorry. I decided to tech 2 Ultralisks, and Chitinous Plating on the way, +1 armor. I should drop another Evo Chamber. And while I am really, really low harvester right now, considering that I'm 4 base, that's almost inexcusable. But moving down here, I'm going to just force my way straight right on top of his army. And that's kind of what I'm talking about right there, where those storms, they really were not the most effective in the world. Very few of those Stalkers made it out there, only 2 of the High Templars, and going back to the units lost. Well, I'm only a little bit, there we go, that picked up a little bit more. And this is really, really going to kill him right now, is the fact that every one of these probes is going to die a horrible, terrible Zerg death. And that storm just going down, having very little effect. That unit's lost tab is now definitely favoring me. If we check this out, the main is completely stripped of minerals. He's on this base with, again, pretty crazy number of probes. And going back to the income tab, I'm way ahead of him. I killed almost 30 harvesters right there. I'm doing a huge drone migration because I think I kind of missed the fact that half my patches were empty over here, and this lone worker is going to have the job of collecting all these minerals. It would have been very beneficial to me to leave a few back, but this should definitely help spike my income tab back up to a more acceptable level once all these guys are up and ready. And I have 6 Ultralisks coming out. Right now I'm feeling pretty comfortable because I've been continuing to scout with this scouting Muta, and I know that he has not been able to get the space up. He was not able to mine off of it, for more than 1 or 2 mining cycles. And we see gateways, photon cannons, anything he can do to stop the impending doom that's coming out. But if we look, six Ultralisks on top of the fact that I already have 2 out there, there's going to be so little that he can do to stop these guys from just coming in and ripping everything apart. These guys are frenzied. They cannot be snared, stuns, mind controlled, anything like that. They are walking death machines. They will just kill everything. And now that I have all 7 of my beautiful Ultralisks out in the field, I am definitely going to move in and see what kind of hell I can raise. And just because I can, I'm actually going to go in through these back walls right here. And actually, I've got creep in half of his base. Wow, that's kind of disgusting, actually. Creep everywhere. Oh, he just finally killed the tumor. Asshole. And if we check this out right now, you can see the bounce effect over here, and you can see the fact that there's ultras. He's going to move his troops in, and I'm just going to move my troops in, and ultras, there's almost nothing you can do about this at that point. The High Templars didn't even know what just hit them. They're like, fuck this shit, and they actually warped out of this world. They didn't want to be with us anymore at the end. Lazy bastards. But able to clean this group up real nicely right here. A storm goes down, but I really could care less if that storm just went down in that pack of mutas right there. Well, just look at how deadly that is. But my Ultralisks, there's so many of them, it would take a lot of Immortals to be able to kill these guys. And now that the gateways are down, the Nexus is down, Yeti GG's, he goes back to Canada where he belongs, and the Ultralisks will go, and they will have Zealot food, and that is the end of the game. Oh, there we go, never mind, they wanted more Zealot food. So, thank you very much for watching, and I thought that this was a good game to bring up, just because it kind of shows what you can do and how you can play when you're scouting out your enemy properly. You gotta learn when to build drones, when to build troops, and also, my response to his build may not have been the best, having Mass Ling and Mutas, but used properly, you can really limit the effects of Storm. Like, if he would have seen me coming through in this choke point, cut my army in half with a few sentries, and then lay down storms. So, also maybe as a lesson of what you can do with those tech buildings. Like, I've been absolutely annihilated. Some more Zealots, or, whatever else it might have been. Those storms are so deadly, but you need to protect the High Templars, and you also cannot storm when your troops are surrounded, because you can be like, I'm going to storm right over here and maybe catch the very edge, but then it's basically completely ineffective. If you storm right on top of it, that eats your own troops alive too, and Protoss units, even though they're beefier, can definitely still take storm damage. So, thank you very much. This is Malikicowtipper signing out.